Okay, I moved to a more comfortable chair. That stool was starting to get to me. So, in this video, one of the things I want to talk about very briefly, I hope, is the the paperwork side of the ambulance. So, the wife and I made kind of a little deal when we started talking about doing either a bus conversion or an ambulance conversion. I had a lot of questions about the legalities of it, the insurance, the paperwork, and our deal was basically that she would deal with the paperwork, getting insurance, getting it registered, getting plates, getting all that stuff, and I would do the majority of the work. So that's been kind of our deal the whole time. And as we get closer to getting it on the road, she started calling insurance companies and trying to find, you know, getting insurance on it. And the market's kind of changed over the last handful of years. Previously, people were buying school buses and turning them into schoolies, and people were buying vans and doing all kinds of conversions on them, and it was really easy to get insurance on them. But because so many people were doing that and converting them and not doing it well, the legalities and liabilities of it, a lot of the insurance companies have really kind of shied away from insuring a lot of different types of vehicles. With a schoolie, it's almost impossible. There's like one place that we were able to even have the conversation with, and with this one, it was hard to get a lot of people to have that conversation because when you look at the VIN number on this particular truck, it's not a full and complete VIN as if you pull up one of my cars. It's exactly like I've got a Dodge Charger sitting out there. It's a Dodge Charger with these options and this motor and this that, and the other. The VIN on this one, it shows up as an incomplete vehicle because when Ford made it, it was incomplete. It was a cab and a chassis, and that was it. There was no box here, there was no flatbed here, there was nothing. And then Ford sold that to a company in New Jersey who builds ambulances, just like they sell fleet vehicles to a company that makes tow trucks or a company that makes Ryder and U-Haul vans. So the VIN number shows up as incomplete. And then when the ambulance company buys that and they build out an ambulance, how they sell it to the next person, they sell the ambulance, but it may not necessarily show up in the VIN. So in some places you run that VIN and they know it's an ambulance. And other places, they don't know what it is. Most of the time it doesn't care. It's a Ford, F450, and that's all that really matters. But when you start talking to the insurance companies for private, personal insurance, they really want to know what it is because that's how they're going to decide how much to charge you, and based on your driving rates and where you're at, all those sort of things. So when we got an answer from an insurance company, we had to tell them about it and then show them a bunch of pictures of it. And we sent them pictures of it and told them what we were intending to do. And the guy on the phone apparently was really thrilled with the idea. He thought it was really interesting and really cool because it was so much different than what he normally has to do. So that was kind of cool. And one of the things that they came back with is the light bar on the front of it has to be removed. They cannot insure it with the red and white light bar, emergency vehicle light bar on the front of it. Well, that's fine. We'd already intended to take the light bar off and put a regular pickup truck, light bar on it. So we did that and got the new light bar up there, 30,000 lumens of light, which is really cool. I've only had it on for like a second and a half because it's so bright. I try not to piss off my neighbors because it's literally pointed right at my neighbor's house. So, um, we got the light bar off of it, sent some more pictures back to the insurance company. Said, look, lights are off of it. If you walk around in front of it, it's all amber lights up there. There's no red lights on the front of the vehicle anywhere. And we asked them, here you go. Is this all you need? And they were supposed to get back to us last Monday. Tomorrow it'll be 1 week. Now the guy that we talked to seems pretty enthused about the whole idea, and he's like, it's all about corporate. They just need to check all their boxes, and then we'll be good. He seems to think that we will get insurance without issue. However, we don't have insurance yet. Now, The wife's going to call tomorrow when, businesses are open again and find out what's going on. Is there another problem? Whatever. So when we do get the insurance on it, it's going to be commercial vehicle insurance, because from the insurance company's point of view, until they know otherwise, it's still an ambulance, and an ambulance is a commercial vehicle. Even though it's, to a certain extent, it's just a box van with lights on the outside, but it's a box van. Then, what's the difference between an ambulance and a box van? You know, once we start to show them that we don't have a lot of the utility of an ambulance, I mean, there's no gurney in here, there's no EMT seat, there's no oxygen, there's no heart rate monitors, there's none of that in here. It's just cabinetry and furniture. That's all it is. So eventually, we'll get the commercial vehicle insurance on it, we'll get plates on it, we'll get it on the road, and then we can talk to the insurance company about converting it to mobile home or motorhome insurance and make it a private vehicle. But there's a list of requirements of what it needs to have in it to be a converted motorhome, and we'll have to take lots of pictures and send them pictures and videos. And I keep telling my wife, point them to the channel. The channel's there. We're documenting everything we're doing. I'm sure there's a list of things that need to be done to be considered a motorhome. We have hot and cold running water. We have a refrigerator. We have a bed. I don't know what else is required. We don't have a bathroom in here. We're expecting to use facilities of wherever we're going to be around, or we'll have the porta pot with us if we're completely off the grid. So I imagine it's going to be a list of 6 or 7 things, and check 3 of the 7 or 4 of the 7, and whatever you have. Don't know, but we've got to get further along to have that conversation with them. So as of this particular moment right now, we don't have insurance on it, and we don't have plates on it. Now, we're expecting to, and everything that we have in front of us says shouldn't be an issue, and it should be done before we leave, which obviously if it's not done, we can't leave, but by our scheduled leave time, it should be done. I'm hoping that the sooner the better, because we have 2 trips that we're really looking forward to. One of them is Easter weekend. We were planning on going down to my son's house, doing a short camping trip, camp out in his driveway. We're going to take this, camp, sleep in it, live out of it for a day or 2, and really kind of see how it is. We'll be really close to amenities, so if we need something, we're not going to be completely off the grid. If everything goes well on that camping trip, then we're going to go ahead and take the long camping trip. We're going to go off the grid or whatever. Plus, between those 2, I want to take some time to take it around the neighborhood, take it, 20, 30 miles at a time, get a feeling for the fuel mileage out of it. Well, we have no idea what kind of gas mileage we're going to get. I mean, we have back of the envelope guessing. We know it's a Power Stroke 7.3 diesel, and we know the rear end gearing is 4.63 to 1, and we know it weighs around 11,000 pounds, so we're expecting 11 to 13 miles per gallon. But that's just a guess. So once we get it on the road, drive it for a little while, we can start making some real calculations in real-time driving and see what we're going to get. But we need to have plates on it to take these trips. And my biggest fear is that we're going to get plates and insurance and all that on it the week before we leave. And we're not going to have time to kind of do some of the shakedown. I don't think that's 100% going to be the way it happens, but that's the fear, is that we're just not going to have the time to take it out and exercise it. We'll see how it is. One of the cool things about having the refrigerator right here, and the wife hates for me to point this out, is this makes a really good, expensive coaster. So I can put my tea in there. It keeps my tea cold. Alright. So, insurance is forthcoming. Plates are forthcoming. Hopefully we'll get it done in time to run it down the road. If you have questions, comments, concerns, especially the questions about the legalities and how to get insurance and those sort of things, because that is definitely a big question. Put it in the comments. I'll have the wife chime in on a lot of that. I don't know all of the answers. Like I said, the deal was I would do a majority of the work and she would deal with the paperwork. So ask questions. We'll see if we can get answers. All right, guys. Talk to you later.